This year being Singapore's bicentennial, we thought that it would be a very meaningful opportunity to take a step back and reflect on our nation's history, and also to see how, as a nation, we got to where we are today. However, for the book that we were going to produce, we thought that it would be good to take it from the perspective of a child, and we didn't want it to be just a retelling of the Singapore story. We wanted it to be a window into the thoughts, the feelings, and the hopes of our children. And of course, the school being in Telok Blangah, we would of course want to delve a little bit more into the history of Telok Blangah in the book. Through the book, we hope that our children will learn to appreciate the hard work and sacrifice of our forefathers in developing the country, as well as their openness, their belief in multiculturalism, and their self-determination to carve out a future for themselves and for Singapore. More than this, we hope that our children will continue to live out these traits in their life as they write the next chapter in Singapore.
We showed the children old images of Telok Blangah from the National Archives of Singapore and National Heritage Board. It was interesting to see their responses. We used the thinking routine, See, Think, Wonder to spark curiosity in the children and get them to imagine what might have been going on in the old drawings and photos. For example, our 6-year-old children from the MOE kindergarten thought that children in the past must have been very bored because there are no iPads and TVs. With the upper primary children, they showed a deeper appreciation of the early contributors to Singapore, such as Munshi Abdullah.
I learned that Singapore is successful today, not only because of Sir Stamford Raffles' contribution to Singapore. There were other contributors like Munshi Abdullah and Captain Charles Edward Faber, who also did their part for Singapore.
When the historical facts were then shared with the children, we could see how proud they were of the fact that their school and the estate they lived in were associated with a place that such rich historical significance.
As our school is located in Telok Blangah, we identified a few long-term residents of Telok Blangah to find out more about Telok Blangah of the past. They are the age of our students' grandparents. One of the residents, who is 85 years old, has lived in Telok Blangah since he was a child. To prepare for the interview, we guided our students to come up with the interview questions. During interviews, our students learned not just about what Telok Blangah was like in the past, but they also listened to stories about the residents' childhood memories and life pursuits. For some of our classes, we guided our students to come up with questions to interview their grandparents or elderly neighbours. In interviewing the elderly, they also appreciated the efforts that earlier generations put in to develop Singapore to what it is today.
When I interviewed Mr. Ong, he shared that although he was working in Keppel Shipyard, he picked up electrical skills on his own in order to stay relevant. Although he did not take English lessons, he learned English by interacting with the foreigners around him. I hope to emulate him in his passion for lifelong learning.
Madam Sir lived harmoniously with her neighbours. My family also had good relationships with our neighbours. When I was in primary 2, I came home and found no one at home. My neighbour took me in and gave me lunch. When my parents came home, they were grateful and treated my neighbour to dinner in our home. Being an open city, welcoming different cultures, with
Our students in our Media Kids CCA group identified places in Singapore that held special meaning for Singaporeans. This included the Raffles Landing site, Singapore River, and Padang. We arranged for them to go on an outdoor shoot and apply the photography skills that they had learnt. They also found out more about the history of each place through history books and reliable sources on the internet. Our younger students went through a similar learning experience. They brought photographs of places that they had been to in Singapore and talked about their experiences with their teachers and friends. You could see the sparkle in their eyes when they shared about why those places were special to them and their families.
The Merlion is uniquely Singapore. The lion and the fish come together to form the Merlion. Just like the Merlion, Singapore is also very special because people from different cultures and religions live peacefully together on one island.
I like Gardens by the Bay because it has a big waterfall. I like Sentosa because Universal Studios is inside. And I got to go there with my father to celebrate my birthday.
A green and gracious city, caring for the elderly. A fifth step for our nation. These are our hopes and dreams.
What are our students' aspirations for Singapore? To find out and learn more, we showed our students newspaper articles about national issues. For example, climate change, aging population, water conservation. Then we had discussions with them about the issues that they were most concerned about. We guided them to think about what they could do in the future regarding the issue. Our students shared some interesting responses. For example, creating robots to help the elderly, encouraging shops to stop giving out plastic bags, changing the DNA structure of mosquitoes so they cannot breed, and cutting down on food waste. We hope that our students will follow their dreams and make a difference together with others in their generation.
There are many robots. They can clean away the rubbish. I love robots. They can help us.
I read that almost half of Singaporeans will be 65 years or older in 2050. I want Singaporeans to treat the elderly like my grandmother with respect. I want to create an app for the elderly so that they can get medical advice from the doctor without going down to the clinic. The app can also inform them about activities they can join with their friends.
A concern that I have for Singapore is that the water contract that supplies our nation with water will end in 2061. If Malaysia cuts the water supply before 2061, we will be on our own. Right now, Singapore has 4 national taps. I want to invent a 5th tap when I grow up.